Over 600 days ago, I set out on the almost impossible quest that is completing RuneScape, but not just that, doing it one chunk at a time. Moral alert! After spending over 1 year in Lumbridge, I escaped and fared my way to Edgeville for a quick 3-month sesh, for then to be sent right back to Lumbridge. But never mind that. Last video I managed to overcome this new previous area challenge once again, where I left you guys hanging. As always, I appreciate y'all, and now let's get to the chunk rolling. Alright trucks. So we're here at the chunk picker. As you can see, it's been 101 days since the last roll, but as I showed you a few clips ago, it was 97 days to finish the chunk. I think I'm gonna do a bit more comprehensive showcase of the chunks here, but not very thorough. Just want to clear up a few things. So the last time I did mention that Soul Wars is a nice and long fun grind, but I kind of misunderstood how I was unlocking Soul Wars. So as said, I'm following Limbwed's rule set, which means that I need to unlock these 3 respective chunks in addition with this one to play Soul Wars. So that's a bit on pause for now. Anyways, what unlocked last time was this one is a shooting star, which means 19 mining. This one obviously is the farm cape. This one I mentioned a bit, but I'm not quite sure it was well explained. I have this one open because there's the Dragon Slayer 1 quest NPC in here, which I could be needing at some point. And yeah, so that's the reason pretty much. Yeah, there's quite a few more things to mention in the rest of the chunks, but I guess we'll just get to it if I roll them. 75 farming, I burned the magic lock as you saw, fledged the shield, equipped the bow, I made the bow, equipped it, blah blah blah. Yeah, so that was pretty much half of the tasks after 3 months. Now, all I need to do is click this very heavy mouse button 1 to pick a chunk. Oh, what did I do? Sorry. Ruined, clip ruined. Okay, there we go. Okay. Big chunk. Oh.
No.
No. Okay. So, first thing first. This is the end of the account for now, and the reason being is that this is a, I just spent 3 months getting 1.2 mil XP. And that was with the a lot of seeds stored proactive. I've been proactive, right, and collected a lot of seeds. Now I do not have any seeds really. However, yeah, that took 3 months. So this would take. I need to do 10 times more XP. So this will take 3 years. Sorry. I could backlog it, but I've kind of already made an exception. So I am going to start uploading the videos. I have no idea if I have any audience at this point, and I'll let it be up to you guys to decide. I will start with the other task now, and just if people can't agree on whether I should backlog it or not, I guess it's just a count over. It can't always just be making exceptions until the map is complete. That ain't too fun. I didn't really prepare my speech for this. Is there anything else to say? I really wouldn't mind doing the forestry log. I think that seems kind of fun. 99 smithing, smith a rune sword. Why is that? Do I not enter the dungeon up here? I know there's an anvil. Oh, I can enter down here. Yeah, so it's 99 smithing as well. I guess this is just chunk over then. Like 2 exceptions. Not much else to say. I guess it all can be a nice fairy tale. Alright, Present Stowy here. G'day. So that's it then. Karma struck, and it struck hard. This is, at least to some extent, the end of the account, but let's have a look at why that is the case. A quick disclaimer before the video continues. This episode is all about theory crafting, with some proposals on how to compromise the scope of the tasks in this chunk. TLDR is that this chunk will take me 6-some years to complete. With that said, I've continued playing the account for the past 2 months, but progression clips thus far won't be shown until the next video. I hope you stick around, because every one of you will have a say in the future of the account. Now without further ado, let's get to the showcasing of the colossal chunk tasks. Let's start talking about the woodcutting and farming grind. First off, there are a couple of new factors which influences or can influence the woodcutting grind. Those are the accessibility of a rune axe, along with the Twitcher's gloves and the struggling sapling event. Twitcher's gloves are a reward from the forestry shop. When equipped, grants a 10% higher chance for receiving a seed nest. As of right now, the gloves work as a consumable, which will dissolve after 250 logs chopped. But as of recording this video, they're looking to change the gloves into having infinite charges, so that's great. Even though that is fantastic news as it stands right now, we don't know what is going to happen with forestry in the future, as it seems to be an ongoing development with updates coming in every now and then. Even though there seems to be new improvements in the 10% bird nest drop rate bonus and the struggling sapling event, I do not possess the mathematical abilities to draw out the exact numbers for continuing with oak logs, which would mean way less struggling sapling events than with the willow trees. Or if I should proceed with the willow trees, which would result in fewer bird nests. All I have for now is some dozens hours of empirical data from woodcutting at the willows with the black axe without the Twitcher's gloves, and I'm getting nowhere near the same amount of bird nests as I did with the oaks. So I don't really think that the additional 10% is gonna surpass the rate of bird nests from the oak trees. Another small thing I thought would be worth mentioning is that if I stick with the willows, I would have to run to the tree patch every 40 minutes at least to check on the health, which in the long run would cost me quite a bit of time, but you'll see why in a bit. The third factor, the struggling sapling event, which rewards farming experience, is a random engaged event. Relying on this event to boost my farming rates, I would ultimately have to stick with the willow trees, since there are no spots in my unlocked areas where people chop multiple oak trees for forestry, or in groups for that matter. The magnitude of the reward from doing an event isn't stable, as I can get anywhere from 100 to 700 experience per event, and can go for hours without seeing one actually. Besides that, the mobile client occasionally freezes when there are too many people doing an event. With that said, there is an utopian setting where I have 100 of you guys split over 10 worlds, cutting the same tree, fishing for the sapling event, and letting me have a full 10 scale version all to myself. Then we're probably looking at around 2000 experience per event, with multiple events every day. Now, that would obviously break all records of longest ongoing community event in the game. But yeah, man, this just makes me realize how much I love the inexhaustible theory crafting there is in this game's universe. Okay, enough with the daydreaming. Before diving into numbers for woodcutting and the mining grind, it's worth addressing the upcoming mid-level boss, Scurious the Rat King, which is getting released sometime in the nearest future. As of right now, there isn't a lot of information about the rewards, but there appears to be a pet and presumably not too many skilling resources, unfortunately, to help out with the other grinds. But nothing is confirmed yet. I am all hype for the new boss in my area, don't get me wrong, but it also implies an extended period of time before we get to roll a new chunk. Now, let's get to the numbers for the current tasks. First off is a look upon the woodcutting and farming grind, now with the luxury of having a rune axe at my disposal. To my knowledge, the rune axe is about 25% better than black axe, according to some comparisons I could draw out from studying the Wikipedia. This is probably wrong though, and it's most likely less than 25%, but I don't have an alt account to test it out. Looking at what I have previously accomplished on the account, about 1000 hours with a black axe plus random events would result in 1.5 million farming experience. I did probably spend 11 to 1200 hours for the 1.5 mil farming experience, but 13 of the 40 million woodcutting I accumulated was with a 10% lower chance of receiving a bird nest since I didn't have the cape. A 1000 hour with the rune axe should therefore yield 1.875 mil farming experience. The amount of experience I need is 13 mil minus the 1.5 mil that I've already gotten, meaning 11.5 mil woodcutting. And if you divide that with the rune axe rate, it converts into 6100 hours of woodcutting oaks for 99 farming to be banked. Now the experience a day for farming is a bit fluid. If I can keep up with willow seeds and have just one of a higher tier seed available once a day, I can expect about 11k experience a day, maybe shooting a tad bit over there. Sitting at 1.3 mil farming experience at the moment, needing an additional 11.7 mil. 99 farming would take 1066 days to complete, which by the way includes checking the sapling's health every 40 minutes every single day, and the countdown for the 1066 days doesn't start before I get to 86 smithing to smith myself a rune axe. And when the woodcutting grind starts, my smithing grind would have to be fully paused. Now, let's dive into the smithing grind. The best method that I can think of is to mine iron ore. Now, why is that the case when I got up to adamantite ore at my disposal? As you might remember from episode 3, the frustrating part of the mining and smithing grind was the travel time from A to B, which I'm forced to do once again. To minimize my trips back and forth and therefore preserve as much run energy as possible, alongside avoiding having to weld up, iron seems to be the right call because 1. I only have a black pickaxe available, and 2. There will be no downtime from weld hopping. Well, great Stoey, you seem to have figured out the optimal method and it seems straightforward, but hold up now trucks, let me get to the math. First off, let's have a look at the experience. I can expect 18.75 smithing experience from every iron ore mined, since half of them will fail to be smelted into bars due to a developer having a bad day at work 20 some years ago. From 70 smithing to 99, I need a total of 12.3 mil experience, which pans out to be around 655,000 iron ores mined. I can mine and bank a total of 420 ores an hour on average, meaning I will have to mine for 1561 hours. Additionally, I will have to smelt the ores, and I can smelt roughly 1000 ores an hour at the edge drill furnace at peak efficiency, which means I would have to smelt for 655 hours. That adds up to 1216 hours just to obtain the bars. After having smelted the bars, I would have gained 4.1 mil smithing experience, leaving me 8.2 mil experience short of 99. I can get an average of 19k smithing XP an hour smelting iron plate bodies at the Draenor Sewers anvil, which pans out to be 431 hours smithing the bars. I did test smelting stackable items in hopes of better stamina conservation, but that panned out to be just over 14k experience an hour. The 3-step process of the smithing grind sums up to be a total of 2,647 hours for the 99 smithing. If I continue to play an average of 5 hours a day, those 5 being fully dedicated to that grind, I'm looking at a 529 days grind. Ouch, right? Luckily for me, when I rolled the chunk, I would have additionally needed to create trap disarmors for the Poacher's Forestry event in order to get the Fox Whistle. And 1 disarmor equals 1 action/chance to get the Fox Whistle for the Beaver transmog, and 1 iron bar makes 10 disarmors. Now, by the time of recording this video, a recent update announced that these disarmors are to be discontinued. However, this also means that I will be eligible to receive the golden pheasant egg for a beaver transmog, which was locked behind a limestone before, because I didn't have limestone available in my unlocked areas. So saved a bit time on smithing and mining there, right? But also added a lot of time potentially for getting the golden pheasant egg. Another minor inconvenient factor to the skilling algorithm is the contradictory of doing smithing first, or at least up to the level requirement for the rune axe, due to the fact that I will miss out on a lot of ring nests and therefore rings of forging to help out ease the smithing grind. In summary, we are looking at a 2,647 hours smithing mining grind, a 3,412 hours of woodcutting, and 1,066 days of farming respectively, with little to no overlap / no zero time progression. If I keep up my 5 hours a day playtime, we're looking at a 6 years chunk. Now, I am unable to factor in random events, which means that some of these numbers could be overshot by a tiny bit. So, that's it then. Right, I'm done for. There's no carrot to this grind. I barely get any upgrades for the account, and I for sure am not getting paid big bucks either. What can I do about it then? There are many different solutions as to how we could work around a compromise here. As for a start, I'm gonna present 4 ideas I came up with, and then we are to elaborate on those. So, the first one, getting 99 smithing, and for farming, making an exception of just having to bank the farming experience needed for 99, and then allowing for the planting to be passive. I'm currently sitting at 8 mil banked farming experience, meaning I need an additional 4 mil worth of seeds. I don't fancy this too much, as there are other potential farming challenges which are attainable, similar to this 75 farming grind. Another solution is to backlog both of the 99 grinds until I unlock a reasonable method to train the skills. But then again, what is reasonable? After all, this is an extreme version of the one chunk game mode. I don't fancy the idea of making static limits, since I'll be willing to do multiple 1,000 hours long grinds, as long as they are entertaining to me and not at least to you guys. An example could be the last man standing grind, where I would be able to stream the journey and make highlight videos along the way. Alright, so for the third proposal, I compromise by banking 99 farming with whatever seeds, and for smithing to obtain level 91. Allowing me to craft all of my new best in slot upgrades, 91 being for the rune crossbow. This grind would take about 1100 hours without random events. Now, most of the grind is in a PvP world, which means I'm ineligible to get XP lamps anyway, for about 620 of these 1100 hours. The fourth and final proposal I came up with is to bid farewell to the account, #no exceptions. Having it keep as much integrity as possible, and instead start on a new series idea I've come up with, which has an unique and fathomable premise and goal. That series would allow me to upload frequently with engaging content, and as a bonus, even make streaming viable. As for now, I've already started on proposal 3. I know it's my account and I should be able to make all of the decisions myself, but at the end of the day, I am following a static rule set, and in line with that, there are boundaries which should be respected and upheld. I'm gonna create a poll on my YouTube sometime within the next 7 days, so people have a chance to watch the video first. I've linked a Discord server in the description where we can elaborate on the presented solutions and to get some good theory crafting going. I am, of course, all ears for even more propositions. I hope to hear from you guys and look forward to engaging in the first community-like mission with you lovely troglodytes. The next video will be of the progression in the chunk thus far and a conclusion about the account's future. Thanks for sitting through this ramble. Bye bye.